After seeing Dave Grohl perform with Scream in San Francisco a few weeks earlier in the summer of 1990, Cobain and Novoselic agreed that if they ever had the chance to ask him to join their band, they would do so. At the same time, Scream was falling apart. The band's bassist, Skeeter Thompson, had quit the band, and Dave was living in Los Angeles tiling floors to make ends meet. When Dave phoned Buzz Osborne, whom he had befriended on tour with Scream, to see if he had any knowledge of any drummer vacancies, the Melvins frontman told Grohl that his friends in Nirvana were looking for a drummer, and gave him Novoselic's phone number. Dave, who had been chatting with Crover and Osborne backstage that night, knew exactly whom Buzz was speaking about. Chris was all over the room drinking and laughing, Grohl told Mojo in 2005. And Kurt was so quiet. I remember asking someone, who are those guys? That's Nirvana? You're kidding me. No way. Dave ran into Kurt again while on tour in Olympia that August. After their show, Dave and his bandmates were invited backstage to party at Slim Moon's that night, a party which Kurt also attended. During the festivities, Dave left a bad impression with Kurt by making fun of Toby's performance, Toby being Kurt's girlfriend at the time, Toby having performed on the same bill earlier that evening. Kurt's negative impression of Dave was exasperated when the drummer tried to play his Primus cassette, Fizzle Fry, at Moon's party. But despite Grohl's behavior, Kurt couldn't shake his respect for his drumming. A few days after making contact with Osborne, Grohl got up the courage to give Novoselic a call. Unfortunately, however, he was instructed that Nirvana had already asked Dan Peters to join the band. That night, however, both Chris and Kurt called Dave. They spoke about music and discovered they had a lot in common. Everything from Neil Young to DC hardcore to Public Enemy. Grohl agreed to fly to Seattle, but first he went to the record store to get a copy of Bleach. He listened to it repeatedly as he dismantled his drums. He packed them in a large U-Haul box, threw the rest of his belongings in an old army duffel bag, and hopped on a plane. He arrived at SeaTac on Friday, September 21st, 1990, with Kurt and Chris picking them up in their van.